Hello everybody, welcome to this volume of Dirty Dricks. Napalm Grounds out to you by the King of a Avengers Legion circling around, holding back the Burning Legion from getting to Azeroth. So this team is based off of somebody else's dirty trick that I noticed in PvP today. So I fought this guy, Aquarox. Way down below me. I mean, we're talking hundreds of points below me, and I fought him in Vibra. I don't know why this happened, but he had a very interesting setup on his defense. He ran the Coulson's Revenge with Rescue and Fixer, and I thought, wow, that is something really interesting. The Coulson's Revenge made Rescue follow up with her level 1. We know her level 1 gives her afterburners. By having afterburners, she granted herself an extra turn, which meant she turn fucked. She jumped the line heavily. Fixer attempted to get an extra turn too, or an extra attack, but Hafe stopped it, and I realized that what he was going to do was his guns for free, which would explode any mines. And I thought, wow, that's actually really interesting. That's banking. Coulson's Revenge is pulling very interesting level 1s as follow-ups. So I thought, what better can I do with extra really good level 1s than run Kuurth and Enchantress? So here's the deal with this. This is a team that Sumiyoshi had suggested to me at the end of last PvP season. Basically what was said is like, hey, this team's doing a really good job for me, try it out. Well, I think the key would definitely to be using a Scrapper Kuurth to help with Enchantress, but mine is Bruiser because that's the one that's been ISO'd. I have switched her ISO to be the one that says runes don't explode. So my goal, which I think you're beginning to understand in your brain now, my goal is to go ahead and have her spend her turns putting out runes and hopefully join in on attacks and explode the runes for free. That's my idea. So over here, Ultimate Spider-Man's ready for training. I'm not going to pull the trigger on him. He's an infiltrator. I would rather go for tacticians and blasters. But Enchantress, I'm hoping that she spreads magic missiles for free. So my loadout is the Cube, the Weather Control Device, the Coulson's Revenge, and the Blind Justice. This team even has defensive implications, but honestly, you would want to take one of these out and move it to maybe like the Cosmic Cardinal or the Hugin's Eye, something so that every turn 1 is hopefully Coulson's Revenge and then one of these two, and then after that you're forced into using the Blind Justice every turn. That's what the hope is. On offense, this is a little bit better. On defense, this could be risky. You may want to drop one of these out for a passive. Weaknesses of this team, well, a Scrapper, especially Scrapper Quicksilver, is a definite weakness to the team. And of course, sticking the debuffs on the enemy side. You may want to move in the Scroll of Runamaroth. You may even want to roll in the Mystic. What you could do is take Coulson's Revenge out, put the Mystic in here simply as a stat stick, and just spam Blind Justice every round. But Coulson's Revenge is active at the beginning of combat, which is a positive. So far these guys won against a really, it was a 14-42 team, but they were not very good, and I demolished them. I've had some issues with some of the other combat I've gone into it. One featured a quick lock team with the Scrapper Quicksilver. It was not good. And the other one was Team Autopilot, which is gaining in popularity, and that's Spino and Rocket. And they did a pretty good job against me. The radiation sickness was strong. My agent was stunned and could not get rid of the dots in the first round. So here we see, Quick Noir. This is a new one, but potentially deadly. So we see Star-Lord is first. So what I'm going to do is pop him one time with the dots, and we see we have an infiltrator agent with the there is no stealth, and they have the Mystic Shroud. So we are in serious danger here in round 1. The only reason why I'm using these abilities now is to get thorns, but I'm not going to be able to affect them right now. The good thing is he will get countered if he goes for the Enchantress, which he doesn't, but he gets... So now he will, but we won't be able to do any damage to him, really, because of the Mystic Shroud. So here is a great case for having the scroll. We know the agent is next, so I'm going to put the Love Me on him, which will pierce the shroud. He uses the Guardian signature insignia, which is not that bright because he is not Movie Lord. So we are going to open up with the Blackest Void to go ahead and get rid of that Mystic Shroud. And at this point, I am going to go right into the Exhaustion to make sure they cannot gain a 12% plan. Their agent's going to punch me, which without haste will just walk on right through. So Spino sets up my agent for death. So I have definitely discovered that the Roscoe is a pretty good counter for a Combat Reflexes Enchantress. It does a really good job. So my agent is out of the picture. So, that's really interesting. That's stealth. Oh yeah, they use the scanner sweep. That's right. Forgot the satellite support. So Star-Lord goes to attempt to hit me, and Spino jumps in. So let's go ahead and get out the Fear Me and see if we can't start lessening this team's defense. And now, unfortunately, we will not be able to see any of the dirty tricks in action because we have nothing providing us the passive anymore. But it would be nice if Kuurth start getting her own counters over here. And we see a brawl. So, once again, we will go ahead and do this. We will do that, and we will try to take that agent out. Give him a pop of that. And he's gone. So, we want to pop Star-Lord and get the Combat Reflexes going. And I'm going to stay put to build up some more charges for a really big Emerald Wave. Let's get out some more runes. Looks like he's going to avoid this. Oh no! Sweet, so it sticks. And she counters, which is lovely. I saw Spray and Pray listed, but I didn't... Nothing actually seemed to happen over there. Alright, so let's get out one on Star-Lord. So let's see what the... Alright, so the wave will take out Star-Lord. I'm hoping that the debuffs will just simply knock him down. And you can see Enchantress is definitely healing herself up pretty well with her ISO. And Kuurth has to stay put thanks to Spino. So he jumps in with a Busting Heads, does some serious damage, and then follows up. So at this point, we're going to try to stack some dots up over here. How many more missile charges? None. And let's see what the guesstimation is. Alright, so let's do it. Let's try to get a kill on the Emerald Wave. And we do. So unfortunately we see the team survive, but we don't really get to see the whole dirty trick over here. Because the agent died so early, So he was not able to provide the passive or the benefit of the blind justice. So let's try this again. Of course, one of the ways of guaranteeing that a team like this works is to run the Vindication set and the Stalker. Provided that person actually attacks that gets hit by the Stalker, you're guaranteeing that your team will follow up against that person when that person attacks. So we see an Age of Ultron team going on over here. And these guys are pretty buff. And we see a little bit of the Arachnid set going on over here. And we probably see hard-boiled, so interesting stuff going on over here. I'm going to go ahead and just get right to it on the Black Widow. We, of course, know that Black Widow means her entire team is going to be stealthy on single targets. Alright, so we want to go ahead and mind control the Hulk because he's up next. We're going to go ahead and try to make the agent counter. And we do see a scrapper over there. And I'm going to go ahead. And if we look at the Hulk, we do know that damage will make him fall off. So we don't want to attack him. I'm going to attack Black Widow. And we're going to stay put. She is not stealthy because there is no tactician on the enemy side. So, at this point in time, we are going to Blackest Void them. Because if we get a follow-up from Kuurth, that's going to do extra damage. And I am going to go ahead and hit the agent. I don't want to give the Hulk ups. And I don't want to give Black Widow combat reflexes. So they go ahead and use the Blackest Void themselves. So let's get out an AoE. Now Kuurth could potentially do a lot of damage if she starts following up on people. So we will go ahead and pop Black Widow once. I wind up hitting my own agent. And Black Widow, wow! Very, very interesting turn of events there. That's retarded. Alright, so at this point, I want to love me on Black Widow. And okay, so Black Widow didn't attack herself. Huh. Very, very interesting over there. So I want to charm the Hulk because we want to keep him locked down. Any AoE from him could certainly mess with the plan here. And I just want to stay put. I don't want to give Hulk ups. I don't want to give the agent combat. There goes my agent again. So the team's going to have to stand on their own once again, which is going to be potentially bad. And we're not going to get to see any of the dirty tricks here. Up, there we go. Combat sensor causes the follow-up, and now he's bleeding for it. He's going to, of course, follow up, but he's going to take a lot of bleed damage because of these follow-ups. So he dies. So now we can take a look and just wump up. Nice. 2 5-digit hits. That is brilliant. So we're going to go ahead and just keep Hulk locked down. And I just want to save up some charges to hopefully get a huge hit on him. And that was pretty weak, but the counter may give him a Hulk up. But it blows up. So you can sort of see the team in action over there. Alright, nice. So let's go ahead and change things up a little bit and see if we can't force what we want a little bit better. So we're going to go ahead and take out the Coulson's Revenge. We are going to search for power for the power cell. There it is, power cell Mark III. We are going to take out the Blind Justice, and we are going to bring in the Stalker. Now here we could run the Scroll, we could run a Mystic. There is definitely a few things we could do here. I'm going to attempt to do this with both. And let's see how this works out. We lose the passive, but we gain guaranteed hits on this. If you stalker somebody and the debuff sticks and that person attacks, that person is going to cause your team to follow up. It's a given. Unless, of course, Hafe is interrupting you. Of course, we have the full screen loading bug where it takes forever. It's funny, this music really brings back memories of Wrath and the Vrakel and Borean Tundra and the Howling Fjord. Wrath was a really, really good soundtrack, and I think it really fit the environments very well. Probably one of the last soundtracks that sticks with me, that I can hear the music and know the zone, or think of the zone and immediately think of the music. I haven't Alright, well, this is going to be pretty much a pushover, but we have a scrapper on the Deadpool. So I am going to love me on Victor because he's up first. And there we go, Deadpool being the douche that he always is. So he zappers Deadpool, which is great. So at this point, I'm going to go right ahead and stalker the enemy agent, because we want to see what this is. And this team is another team that just does not belong where they are. So here's what the stalker can do. Watch what's going to happen when this guy attacks. So he goes for Enchantress. We get a free magic missile. We get that. And we get a brawl. So if there was a rune over there, the rune would have exploded, and not to mention, the rune would stick. So, you know, it's amazing that Deadpool has really fallen off so much in PvP, because you can see how he is still a phenomenal douche. There we go. I mean, it was bound to happen. This is what is such a gigantic pain about Deadpool. He has literally responded to everything the Enchantress just did there. Alright, so let's go ahead and get out more runes. He still is just continuing to respond to everything I do. So, over here, we're going to go ahead and do a quick action disorient. And I'm going to go ahead and stalker Deadpool. His attacks now cannot be stealthy, and when he attacks, we will have a guaranteed counter. So let's disorient him. We're going to go ahead and smitten Victor. And I'm just going to rest and save some charges. So again, look at what Deadpool is doing. I mean, this is ridiculous if this was a good team. He uses bang, bang, bang on his own Victor. And he gets free follow-ups from our team because of the Stalker. So, even though he hit Victor, we still went to town on him. And Victor's just cowering away. So we are now back to power cell. And what's good about using this kind of a setup is that the power cell heals and restores stamina. So Deadpool tanks it and just simply dies. So in looking at my magic missile charges, we have 3. So there's 1, there's 2. Let's get the disorients on them. It's a very, very odd team up. I would never think to team these two together at all. And a huge Emerald Wave takes him out, and he doesn't res. So, there is level 1 dirty tricks for you guys. Fortunately, we didn't get to showcase it as much as possible. We can see when we brought in the Stalker that we really forced things to happen. The passive was just not there from the Coulson or the Blind Justice, and I didn't really have a chance to set it up thanks to my agent dying so frequently. So perhaps bringing in something like the Scroll or the Mystic to be a little bit more protective and stop the Mystic on the enemy side might be a good way to go for this. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Maybe it'll spark an idea for your own level 1 follow-up team, and maybe think of something interesting with it. Take care, everybody.